Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Crypto Space. So in today's video, we are going to cover Kaspa, its recent price action, a couple of interesting news and a couple of interesting charts for altcoins as well. So if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and of course a quick disclaimer that this video isn't a financial advice. You should do your own due diligence and research before investing into any crypto project. But alright, without any further ado, let's hop into Kaspa itself. Kaspa is currently trading at 14 cents of a dollar, and it sits currently at market cap of 3.1 billion US dollars, and 24-hour trading volume is sitting at 33.4 million USD. So as we can see over here, that is something that I like to see. Let me just move it. There we go.
So I just got this for myself, $250. And we're going to pay it here with my Kaspa wallet. Alright. Let's go send it. QR. Boom. It's 18 Kaspa for 250. Confirmed. Boom. That's it.
Alright, so I know that many of you might think that this is actually nothing and means really nothing. However, I do believe that this is actually something. The adoption is coming for Kaspa, and that's for Oklahoma City in America. So if we are going to look at that interesting chart over here, which signals that we could see around $3.50 in the peak of the bull cycle for Kaspa, as long we are going to follow that pattern. So let's have a look at this over here. Sorry. So if we are going to look over here on Monday, February 19th, we have another meetup for Kaspa on X. So that is very good. It's actually happening in Japan. So adoption in Japan is as well coming for Kaspa. And that is very good because people in Japan obviously do have money to deploy, especially into project like Kaspa. This is very bullish in my personal opinion. So let's have a look at the dashboard for now. The current reward is currently at 131 Kaspas, and the next one is going to be 123, and the next reduction is scheduled for 18 days. So if we are going to look over here, the difficulty of mining is pretty much growing consistently, which means that it's more and more difficult to mine Kaspa, and of course what comes with that, the price spikes, just like with BTC. And if we are going to look at that interesting chart, that basically represents addresses that are holding 1 million plus Kaspa, and that is constantly growing. So big adoption of Kaspa, well, in my personal eyes, and that also shows how much of people are actually adopting Kaspa and believe in the project itself. But alright, let's have a look at this tweet over here. As we can see over here, Kaspa is very similar over here mathematically to BTC. That's the only crypto project that is very close to BTC. That is something to pretty much look at for. Now let's have a look at Kaspa itself. We have the comparison between Kaspa and a little bit of different cryptocurrencies. So let's start with Kaspa. The first thing first, instant transaction settlement. The proof of work and block time is 1 second. Bitcoin's BFT security threshold, of course, that's a tick for Kaspa, and stainless money. Solves trilemma and fair lunch, no premium ICO. So that is a very good thing to see. As we can see over here, Cardano haven't had that. Obviously Bitcoin had that, fair lunch. Ethereum haven't had that, and as well as Solana. So I do believe that Kaspa is really great project, okay? And I'm not saying that only because I have invested into Kaspa, because I'm invested into Solana as well, and of course BTC. However, Kaspa looks very strong. But alright, let's have a look into the chart itself right now. So as we can see over here on the daily, we got pushed down from that previous line of resistance over here that was roughly all-time high for Kaspa. However, that I believe is normal, because if we are going to look over here at that previous pump, right, we basically got pushed down as well, and after that we saw a huge spike upwards. So I do believe that Kaspa is basically just consolidating over here and going sideways for a while before it's going to jump much higher. It's not necessarily said that it's going to happen for 100%. There is no guarantee in crypto, but if we are going to look at BTC over here, BTC's price action definitely helps Kaspa to grow. And as we can see over here, BTC haven't really closed above that line of resistance over here at roughly 52k 340 So if we are going to say BTC closing significantly above that line of resistance, that is going to be a big deal, because if I'm going to switch it on a weekly, as we can see over here, we do obviously have a bullish momentum for BTC. However, what I look out for is basically breaking this resistance over here. So that is very important if we are going to close above on a weekly above the resistance. We have confirmations over here and here, obviously, that are leading us back to the previous bull cycle. So that line of resistance is very, very important. And obviously the next one is going to be this one over here, and the last one is going to be obviously the all-time highs, and then sky is the limit, obviously. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that we are not going to see the pullback, because that could happen. We are still before the halving. As we can see over here, halving is going to happen in roughly 50 something days, around 60 days. So of course that pullback might happen. And if it's going to happen, right, if it's going to pull Kaspa back as well, which I believe in the scenario number 2, we are going to basically stop on that line of resistance over here and trend line as well at the same time, that is going to be a beautiful opportunity to scoop up Kaspa. And I do believe if that is going to happen, then it's going to be probably the last chance to accumulate Kaspa on the dip, because later on we are going to see God candles with Kaspa, BTC of course, and when the whole old season is going to kick in. But right now we've got enough of trading view, and now let's have a look at a couple of charts to pretty much understand of where we are at. So if we are going to look at that chart over here, 2014, 2018, right, we're going up, and then we saw a little bit of consolidation even in a bull territory in 2014, 2018 bull cycle. 2018, 2021, as we can see over here, we also had that little bit of pullback too. So it's not necessarily said that in 2022, 2025 bull cycle, I mean 2024, 2025 bull cycle, we are going to see only green candles. As I'm saying, we could see a little bit pullback. As for now, things are looking very bullish. However, bear in mind that when market is overheated, we most likely could see a pullback. So let's now have a look at this chart over here. In the last cycle, altcoins went up by 10x after they broke out of the accumulation phase and topped out 1 trillion. So as we can see over here, that target, potential target, according to this chart over here, is $4 trillion. So that is going to be 6x, but obviously that is going to be distributed not necessarily equally among altcoins, right? I do believe that Kaspa is going to take a bit of, well, actually more than a bit of that market share. But right, let's have a look at this chart over here. First of all, shout out to Titan of Crypto on X, definitely check him out. And as we can see over here, green lights for alts. So if we are going to look at that previous bull cycle over here, when we broke above that trend line, sorry, resistance level, we saw a little bit of pullback, and then we saw parabola for alts, just exactly like over here. We do have a green light, and of course we can see a little bit of pullback. However, based on all of these charts that I'm showing you guys, I do believe that this is the last time to buy. I wouldn't recommend to buy in, let's say, a few months time. On the top of that, we do have a bullish crossover, so obviously that speaks for itself. And now if we are going to look at that chart over here, the super trend signals a buy signal in the monthly chart of the total market cap. As we can see over here is the same thing too. If we are going to look at that green dot over here, we are exactly in the same place if it comes to RSI. So that is pretty much self-explanatory. And now, if all of that wouldn't be enough, we have turned bullish on Gaussian channel. We have turned green on altcoins. So obviously that is just a beginning of that huge cycle for alts, and of course for BTC as well. All right, last but not least, if you are interested into keeping your Kaspa safe outside of exchanges on which anything can happen, make sure that you check out Tangem Wallet, the link in the description down below, and with my exclusive code you can get 10% of discount, or you can also look at that review. All right then, that's it for today's video. Peace and love, crypto.